Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
From the 36, Bridgewater. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 45-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So back at the midfield stripe now, they'll come up 2nd and long. Bridgewater now from the 50. And the catch made by Hopkins. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 24-yard line.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
First down, Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Throwing on second and long. Bridgewater. This is complete to Michael Thomas. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
A 14-yard pickup, but it's third down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Third and short yardage. Bridgewater. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short. They elected. For it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater got a man. He finds Sanders. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and insurance.
Running with Kamara. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Lutz with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
From the gun, here's Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Or what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field, you take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover like that. I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Bridgewater. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Third and long for Bridgewater. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll run it with Kamara. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they on the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Switch, switch, switch. 54, Mike. 54. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
On 1st down, Dobbins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
But you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the 1st half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go.
They take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a gain of 34.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is,
the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Dayon Buchanan. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing his bridge runner. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they take the lead out in front at 13-12. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
Check. Gun. Check hot route. Hot. Check. Express. Right there.
Now Newton. He's going to rifle. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
Good stuff. Keep going.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed. Always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
54, Mike. 8. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Now Newton on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
At the 43-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. It's a big play there for the Saints. 41 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Here we go. 6 yards.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Gun.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A big-time ramble there by Foreman. And even 60 yards for him on the ground. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. McCaffrey, and he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and it will tie our game here in the 3rd. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 35 on 2nd down, Bridgewater. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Thomas has got it, complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. And we're back now in Charlotte. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Record.
Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion. 2nd and 9. Here's Bridgewater. And Thomas has it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Bridgewater to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
To throw, Bridgewater. His pass caught at the 4. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. At their own 30-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Check first. 552. Let's go, D. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Watch QB. Watch QB.
To throw is Bridgewater. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dayon Buchanan able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Now Bridgewater. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. Thomas, the intended target. So Newton and the Panthers come up now first and 10 at the 20. Now following the interception, here's Newton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schwartz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard all day. Woo! Let's get it.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
20. Wide, get wide. Shift.
They snap it to Newton. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield and run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Oh, what a move. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Newton. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Under 10. Gun. 10. 8. 20.
On 4th down, Newton. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down there.